Okay, we should be back. Alright, hello again. We're back doing this new player roleplay challenge, this playthrough of Core Guild Wars 2 to see how easy the game is and whether or not the game is properly teaching us how to play and actually challenging us combat-wise and game knowledge-wise as we progress. So when we stopped last time, we had gotten to level 10 and figured out how some of our abilities work and how to move. And we learned that Guild Wars 2 does do a pretty good job in the early levels of teaching you the basics of how to play the game. So we're going to continue progressing on this character. I actually realized that we're getting a lot of extra experience gain from these extra life bonuses, so that's why we're leveling so quickly, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. The rate at which you level isn't really part of the grind in Guild Wars 2 or the progression really. It's kind of it's not that important. You're not getting that much out of leveling quicker. So we're gonna head in here. Oh, door animation.
At least you made it. I think we're the only two left. Well, look who finally came back. When Steelbane gets done with you, you'll wish you died with the rest of your warband.
As if I cared what you think. Who are you? Why are you breathing at me?
Sarosi Breaksteel. Steelbane recruited me, along with the others, to rebuild the warband.
Wait, what? He's recruiting without asking us?
Yeah, because you're dead, remember? And probably better off that way. Report to Steelbane in the barracks, quick, or you'll be in for a beating.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Legionnaire! Looks like some sewage just floated in from the battlefield. You get my best soldiers killed, and then have the nerve to stand there stinking up our barracks with your cowardly musk?
I got them killed. Tell me something, boss. Who's in charge of this outfit? Who was giving the orders? You.
Watch your tongue, soldier, or I'll have it removed for insubordination. Rage. Teach this piece of waste how to address a legionnaire. With pleasure.
What's gonna happen? Oh, we have to fight. So we know how to press 1, and we should really know how to press our other abilities, so we can start using those. That was easy. So you can see the combat and personal stories is pretty simple. There's not a lot going on in the early personal story combat. We could really just sit here and tank them completely.
Another corpse that doesn't know it's dead. I thought only humans were that stupid.
They haven't really taught us how to use Shroud. We've messed with it a little bit, but I'm trying to simulate how a new player would go through this experience, and so they might not really mess with Shroud too much in these early levels. They might not be that curious, so we're gonna pretend like we don't really know what's going on with that.
Stand down! All of you! Stand down now! So, you fight your own warband better than you fight the enemy. Go on, get out of my sight while I figure out what to do with you. There's a load of supplies over at Telerain's. Bring them to me. Double time. It's the only job you're fit for. Screw this up, and I will Use your hide as a doormat. Understood?
Understood, boss.
Steelbane assigned you to demeaning cub duty. Interesting. This is our one friend from the warband. Alright, and so we're a new player, so we're like, okay, what do we do now? But luckily, we kind of know how to follow these green stars, so what we're going to do is we're just going to follow it like normal. We haven't really messed with waypoints yet, and we're still novices to the combat, technically, so... And we're kind of just following where the game tells us to go. We're not being too inquisitive about what we should be doing or what we can or can't do. So when there's green circles, green stars, green portals, we just follow them.
Hey, come talk to me.
But yeah, so Core Guild Wars 2, lots of walking. Maybe we could think about pressing our map button. We haven't really messed with that either. But just like if you press M, right? Wow, you can see the map. And so we might mess around with that a little more later. Maybe in the next leveling segment when we aren't doing personal story.
Get more of this cub duty, and Steelbane's gonna need new teeth.
The rest of your warband defected voluntarily. Don't be stubborn. Why fight for blood when you can cook for Flame Legion? Females have it easy with us.
You want me to desert and join you so you can demote me to fry cook? Please! I've killed 100 males twice your size.
Fall in line or fall on a blade. I don't care which.
No luck trolling for recruits at the pig farm? You Flame Legion stiffs must be desperate. I came here for supplies, but this is a lot more fun.
If it's fun you want, recruits! Let's send Blood Legion a message. Bury these idiots, and destroy those supplies while you're at it.
Flame Legion. Uh-oh. And some Blood Legion turncoats. Scary. I wonder if we'll make it. So yeah, so the early combat is really easy on purpose so that you don't get stuck.
Have a steaming hot bowl of death.
Right, we could just press 1 and sit here, and that's fine. It'll get us through. This one's not work for later story. I can already tell you that if we just sit here on staff and press 1, we're gonna get murdered.
If I kill enough of you males, maybe
Enemy
the
contact.
females will take over again.
So that's an interesting dialogue line. Lots of lore insights there.
Engaging pursuit.
Very well. You have my attention.
CC. Let's see these other ones.
As you
What does this do? So these are called marks. So we won't even... We're not going to overread skill effects. We're kind of just going to use them. Right? So we might notice that that's making him run away, that ability now, because we've used it a couple times. Alright, now we
I
need
knew
to...
this soldier.
Uh-oh.
Best quartermaster in the legions. Whatever you needed, he had it. My whole war band deserted for the promise of power. Never thought I'd see something like that. I have nothing left but my life. If you'll have me in your ranks, it's yours.
We need soldiers, and you can clearly handle yourself in a scrap. Welcome to the warband. Just be warned, my legionnaire is going to drown us for losing those supplies. I hope you can swim.
Don't worry. I can hold my breath for a long time. I'll take punishment over death, or being a gladium. Lead on.
So we've recruited a member to our warband. Cool. Oh, so look, story's making us choose an item. And so these are some gloves, and when we hover them, we can read the stats on them. So new players aren't necessarily going to know what stats are good, but I think a lot of people are going to say, look, power, ooh, that looks nice, and they're going to hit accept on that. And then we got a level out of doing that. So we also know how to use our inventory, and we kind of know how to find stuff. So we found another bag, which we can equip. And then we're going to look for these gloves. New players aren't going to know that it's going to... And we're going to look for items we can put on. So this is better than what we have on. Bag. This is better than what we have on, so we're going to equip that. And this, we'd be confused about this, but we'd eventually see the red and we'd go, oh, that's actually worse for us. So we won't put that on. But we don't necessarily know why we wouldn't do that. Okay, so let's look at the level rewards and see what the information is that they give us. Alright, so level 11 awards. So this unlock hero points. Alright, so when we click that, it takes us to the hero point training, and we can actually look at what this is. So it's not going to tell us what it does here, but we can train skills, and we've got this flashing icon down here. So let's just train the first thing we see, right? So we trained this. And we're like, oh, what did that do? And we're like, am I supposed to keep interacting with this? And we don't really know. So we just exit out of this and continue on. So look, right below this is hero points, and we click this info button. It says you can unlock skills by spending hero points in the training tab inside the hero point panel. Hero points are earned by leveling up and by completing hero challenges found throughout Tyria. So we can click this. Alright, and then it takes us again to this training section, and so eventually we might not necessarily know what this is. So we had trained one, and we're like, okay, what does that do? And then the last thing on this is utility skills unlocked. So let's click this one. Alright, you've unlocked your first utility slot. To equip a utility skill, click the arrow above your 7th skill slot and select a skill. Alright, so we click this arrow, and we're like, oh, what can we use? So these are the char racial skills. So every race has their own unique skills. They're all pretty bad. They've all been nerfed so that your starting race, the race you pick for your character, isn't important for late game and end game combat. So we're just gonna pick a random one. We're gonna do hidden pistol. All right, we're just gonna have that on. So shoot target foe with a hidden pistol while evading backwards. Except this is what we have to look forward to. And we're going to be a little inquisitive. We're just going to press this. Alright, so we got a little pistol ability that we can use now. Awesome. Alright, and so I clicked the little door thing, but we don't necessarily know how to use that yet, so we're just going to use the arrows, use the stars to get out. Because that's how new players are going to do it, most likely. Alright, and we're going to do some more walking. Eventually here, we'll in the role play learn how to press M and fast travel, but I think new players aren't going to necessarily know how to do that yet. It's been mentioned, they've been taught about waypoints at this point, but they might not necessarily know how to do it.
Hey, come talk to me.
And my logic is that people, one of the big criticisms levied at the game is that people aren't forced to engage with the combat system or the gear, the build system, because they're not challenged in the game. So I'm literally not being overly inquisitive or overly interested in how my gear or my build is working until I encounter an obstacle where that starts to push me back, which in my opinion will happen probably when we hit the dungeons for the first time. I think dungeons are really easy to players who are max level, max gear with elite specs, but I think dungeons are really really hard if you hit them with level appropriate gear, without looking up buildcraft. I think dungeons are very difficult, if you're appropriately leveled, if you're at the right level for them. So we're just following these little green arrows to our destination. Let's see where they take us.
If I don't blow off some steam, I'm getting in a fight.
I think it wants us to go in here. Elevator.
My old Farah. Nearly all gone now. I'll drink to them tonight.
There we go. That's a little bit weirdly implemented there. Alright, we're in our next doorstep.
Why is that idiot meeting us here? We've got work to do.
I don't know. Why are we meeting in a big arena where we could possibly fight somebody? Oh, is that Ritlock?
Well, well. If it isn't the brave soldier that aided me in Baradin's crypt.
Good to see you again, Tribune Brimstone. If you'll excuse me, I need to speak to Steelbane. Reporting in, Legionnaire. Telerange was compromised, crawling with Flame Legion. The supplies were destroyed.
In other words, you failed. Again. By the claw of the Con-Er, give me one reason why I shouldn't just kill you now.
Go ahead and try it. You don't have the spine. You're done, Steelbane. Either you step down as Legionnaire, or I'll knock you into the dirt myself.
You want my job, you miserable little puke? Earn it! Get down there and fight. Show me what you've got, and maybe I'll show you how a real Legionnaire fights. Gather round, troops. Watch me crush this little mutiny, and teach you all a lesson in respect. Gladiators, to the arena!
So this is a very Char method of dealing with the hierarchy of warbands and legions, is we can just kill the people above us if we don't like what they're doing. So we're gonna fight our warband essentially. At this point, we're willing to press these other abilities and do damage here. And we kind of know how to press our heal skill. So you can see we're already, actually, this combat, they're doing damage to us.
Soldier, but it's not over yet. Let's see how you
And we killed them pretty quick because we have AoE abilities, but yeah, I mean that would have been real combat for a new player. Especially if they weren't messing with gear. Oh, CC. Lots of CC in the early game, which is weird. So, we might be curious, what does this really do? So we use it. Makes us jump.
This is it, soldier. Last round. Victory or death. Let's see what you
And that's a
got.
phrase that'll show up a lot in Guild Wars 2, victory or death. Oh, oh no. Oh, it missed. Power couldn't hit us. It's too weak. That's kind of scary. Look at that thing. Oh my god. Don't zoom in. Don't zoom in. Shoot him. Shoot him with our gun. Ow. We did it. Uh-oh. Now we're gonna get ambushed by our warband.
Huh. I usually only come here to kill someone.
Uh-oh. We're surrounded.
Outstanding. I'd say the soldier exceeded expectations. What do you say, Steelbane? He's so impressed he's speechless. Now get in that ring and fight, Steelbane, or I'll split you open myself. Yes, sir. Tribune. I can't hear you, Legionnaire. Yes, sir.
So Ritlock's forcing his hand.
Steelbane. This soldier's willing to fight to the death. How about you? Prepare to be impressed, Tribune. I am going to make an example out of this whimpering cop.
Alright, so now our Legionnaires attacking us. That's fun. Want some CC? Beat him up. Let's run away. He's scared. Let's use our evade. Ow. Oh, we got him.
Stop! I surrender. Don't kill me. I can still be of use to the Blood Legion. He's done, soldier. Either he lives to continue serving the Corps as best he can, or he dies in the name of Legion discipline. Either way, the decision's yours. Kill him, or cast him out of your warband.
Don't do it. I beg you. Let me live. I may have been harsh, but I was trying to do what was best for the warband. What was best for Steelbane, you mean? You started this. I'm finishing it. I don't think our character would kill him. I think we'd let him go. You make me sick, you nauseating little whiner. Crawl away and take your shame with you.
Steelbane wasn't fit to command. Congratulations on your promotion, Legionnaire.
I'll rebuild this warband and live up to your trust, Tribune. I promise you that.
Your first duty is to replenish your warband with honorable Gladium. Earn their trust.
Understood. Any recommendations?
Fion the Wraith and Sour Doomsday. Both are good soldiers who've fallen on hard times. I'll give you a full briefing when you're ready.
Alright, so now we have to replace all the people we lost in our warband. So warbands are like your party, your essential char compatriots, your closest allies within your legion. And they're not necessarily all within your legion, but for this level, they definitely are going to be. So we have to ask Ritlock who he wants us to look for. Very well, Legionnaire, you've got two solid choices, Sour Doomsday or Fion the Wraith. Thoughts? Tell me more about Fion the Wraith, sir. Fion's warband spent decades in Ascalon hunting ghosts until they were caught in an ambush. Only Fion survived. He's a hardened veteran, good with blades, more stealthy than you'd expect from Blood Legion. A little old, perhaps, but still kicking. What about Sour? Sour's a talented necromancer. He was training for covert ops until his warband found him meeting with flame shamans. They accused him of treason. I suspect he was just over-eager. Okay, that's really interesting. So I think we're going to go with Sour because we're also necromancer, and we'd be curious what his deal is and why, as a necromancer, he would feel drawn to Flame Legion and what that means for him. So mistrusted Gladium needs a home, and my warband needs talent. Not just mistrusted, but mistreated, and he's fed up. The Flame Legion's been using that anger to try to turn him to their side. You'll find him by the Victory Cenotaph. Okay, I'm ready to choose. So we're going to choose Sour Doomsday.
Steelbane's not dead enough for me. Let's change our warband's name and bury his memory.
We're using a staff currently, and we might have figured that out by now. I think at this point, we might be aware that the shape in the thumbnail is the same, and so it's the same weapon. So we're gonna pick this staff. We got another level. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going here and we're gonna be like, oh, where's the staff? And we'll eventually find it, and we'll be like, oh, this staff's stronger. Let's equip it. Soulbind. We still don't know what that means, so we're just gonna hit yes. Anything else? We notice this is better, so we equip that. Open our bags. And we still aren't, we should know how to deposit materials, but we don't necessarily know yet. We're going to do the new player thing where they just kind of let their bag fill, and when their bag fills, they go and they try to look through things. So we're going to hit this again, and this will give us more information about how to play the game. So, upgrades. Upgrade items improve your equipment performance. Double click an upgrade, and then click on a piece of gear with an unused upgrade slot to fuse the upgrade to the gear. Okay, so we clicked the thing, it told us what to do with it. Alright, and now we're like, okay, what's upgrades? Do we have a upgrade? And we'll eventually realize that it's telling us about something, and then it's giving us the thing it's telling us about. Alright, number 2, salvaging. Some items you'll find will be salvageable. Use a salvage kit to break them down into crafting materials. And we're like, oh, what's a salvage kit? And again, it gives us a salvage kit with this level up reward as it's telling us what to do with it. And then third thing, we also have access to crafting. So click this one. Visit any city to find a master craftsman and learn a trade. Learning trades lets you craft weapons or armor or even cook foods that temporarily boost stats. Okay, awesome. So we know about crafting now. We know about upgrades, we know about salvaging, and we know about crafting. And now we have to pick what is an upgrade component. Alright, so these are... So again, we don't really know what we're doing, but we like the idea of power, right? We're like, power, ooh, yeah, we do lots of damage. Give me that power. So we're going to hit that one, and we're going to accept the power, and these are the things we're looking forward to. Alright, and at this point, we're like, ooh, what does this do? Double click to apply to an item with an unused upgrade slot. And we're like, oh. And we're like, oh, we could apply this to something in here. So let's make the mistake of just applying it to some random items. So we're just going to do this. We're like, upgrading an item will make it account bound to you. Apply Garnet Pebble to precise thing, and we're like, upgrade, yeah, do that thing. And now we see when we hover over it, instead of unused upgrade slot, it has the Garnet Pebble in there. And we might notice this. And so we look at this, and we're like, ooh, is this weapon stronger? And we're like, yeah, it looks stronger. It's got an upgrade. It's got green on the weapon strength. Let's just click it. And then we look at this, the salvage kit. Double click to salvage any crafting materials. To salvage crafting materials from an item in your inventory has a small chance of salvaging upgrades. So we double click this, and we're like, oh, it's going to kill our equipment. I don't know if I want to do that, so we're just going to leave this alone for now. And eventually, we'll get to that point that all new players get to, where their inventory is always full, and they're like, okay, I need to actually learn how to handle my inventory, but we're not there yet. Our inventory is not quite full. So let's continue on with the story. So we just beat up our Legionnaire, the leader of our warband, the person in command of us, and we let him go. We said, you're good, go away, go. We don't care what you do, just, you can't do it here. We beat him up in this arena below the Black Citadel, and now we're going to find this necromancer who we want to be a part of our warband.
Is the arena open? It's all always open.
Speak
Every
to
night
Sour
till late
Doomsday.
night.
So we came we came down the elevator, so let's go up the elevator. We're just gonna try to find the star. And again, we kind of know how to use the map, so we open our map and we're like, oh look, the star's right over there. Let's go do that. And at this point, some new players will have access to the Raptor, but we're treating the core game like the core game, and we're not touching the Raptor because I think the Raptor is kind of cheating and kind of delegitimizes a lot of the struggles of navigating through the open world, because core Guild Wars 2 wasn't made for mounts, so you can kind of bypass every obstacle, every combat obstacle in the open world if you're on a mount. It's like part of the reason I'm doing this challenge is because some of the challenges I've seen, they literally just mounted up the whole time, and I'm just like, that's not real. The game is not that easy if you don't cheat and use stuff you're not supposed to have yet. So, and the idea that people are just going to be running through other mounts, skipping everything, it's not very realistic. So, we're not even going to touch it. We're just going to keep on keeping on and following our green stars on foot for now. You know, I think eventually people would realize in the top left they've got this little red icon here. So we're going to click this, and we're going to be like, what is this telling me to do? I'm like, okay, let's ask another train thing. We don't really know how this works yet, so we're just hitting them. You learned a skill, Signet of the Locust. And we don't really know what we're doing yet with the builds and the combat, so we just kind of click it. Alright, and then this thing, it's telling us something else. It's like, come back here. It's telling us we have more stuff to do, but we don't really know what that stuff is. So we're walking. But yeah, so far the game is doing a really good job of telling us what to do as long as we engage with the info buttons. I definitely think that's something new players might not know to do, but it's there, right? If you are actively trying to play the game, you will click those and you will see all those info things pop up, and you'll learn very quickly. I also think another problem people have is when they start playing games like this, they play with friends. And when you play with friends, it's kind of like you're almost in like an information race with your friends, and so you kind of rush through things. And if you're on the back end, if you're the slow person in the group, you tend not to get the chance to read stuff and learn stuff, and people just kind of leave you in the dust. So it's also why I think Guild Wars 2 is better to play solo in the early levels.
Nobody can mess with us.
Alright, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna do the story magic users. Uh-oh. Magic. We're one of those. We're a magic user. So is our companion.
Our new recruit is here. We should find him before he gets himself into trouble.
This will be our first encounter with walls. Oh. And we'll run into it a few times. This is what new players will do. Until they realize, oh, red, can't go that way. Luckily that's changed now. It doesn't just kick you out of the instance. So already the game is more approachable for new players. And we're going to go through this with the expectation that we fight stuff. Look at us use our abilities. And we're still not really using the Shroud. Even though Necro Shroud's really broken, core Necro Shroud is very strong ability. And makes the core game really easy if you know how to use Shroud properly. But we're going to pretend like we don't really know what to do with that yet. We've messed with it once or twice, but we're not really sure how it works. So we're just smacking away with our staff.
He has quite the reputation.
It's all irrelevant if he backs out. Are you sure he got the message?
We'll Without a warband, he's meat and he knows it. He'll show.
Alright, so charged without warbands are very vulnerable. So they're talking about our necro friends that we want to recruit. Just following our way to the green stars. So this is what most players will do. They'll go and they'll try to kill everything. Actually, staff's really good for this kind of content because the AoE damage is very nice. And the base condition damage is pretty good. We're not sure which way to go, so we're just gonna run around through these halls. Oh, there's our green star. Look, our guy. Won't be scared of us. Let's talk to him.
Sour Doomsday? Ritlock Brimstone sent me. My warband needs you.
Needs me? Tell that to my old warband. I was raised with them, fought beside them, yet they still didn't trust me. All I did was meet with a flame shaman, and they called me a traitor. Thing is, I was there to assassinate him and steal his magic. I'd never turn my back on the Blood Legion.
That's why I'm here. I need someone with your talents to help rebuild my warband. Join us.
The Flame Legion already made me an offer. Join or die. As a Gladium, I didn't have much of a choice. Get me out of this shotgun wedding, and I'm all yours.
Alright, we're gonna beat up your new fiancé, the Flame Warband.
Just as hard as them getting killed.
Thanks. I thought they were going to kill me, and for something I didn't even do.
Well, you're past that now. We'll only kill you if you really, really deserve it.
Nice. So we're a bunch of magic users, this whole group right now. So we're not gonna judge him. We won't judge you, Sour. We're here doing our necro thing as well. Oh, Flame Legion turret.
You can be sad if you want. Just make the enemy sadder.
Those weapons he's got, wow. Those are intense. He's not a necro. He's a mesmer. What? Why'd they call him a necromancer?
We had a deal. Without a warband to back you up, you're dead meat.
I made Sour a better offer. Stand aside, or...
Or what? Save your empty threats. It's too bad, really. You could have had more power than in your wildest dreams, Sour. My dreams involve a barrel of whiskey, an Ash Legion minx, and you dead at my feet. Time to make that last one a reality. I'll add this Legionnaire's tale to my collection.
Oh, he's a magic user too. Look at all these flame embers.
Move!
Can't move. Oh my god, shouldn't stand in those. We might die. Wow, that actually is a lot of
I'm
damage.
good.
Oh, we leveled up though. We cheated. So when you level up, you do a knockback and you heal, so we got really lucky. So actually, even in this level 10 instance, if we don't engage with the combat system, we die. Instantly. We die.
Bleed my own blood.
Right, look, this is real combat. Like, if we're not paying attention here, we die. Absolutely, we get wrecked. Right here, level 10. Right? The only reason we're alive is because I'm letting us be alive. Like, I'm playing at a higher level than most new players will. They would have died here. Right here, level 10 story, dead.
You saved my tail.
If I had any doubts about offering you a spot, you just crushed them flat. We could use 10 of you.
You don't need 10. Just me and that barrel of whiskey.
That can be arranged.
Alright. And again, we like the idea of power. We're just going to keep going with the power stuff. So we open our inventory, and we find it, and we double click it, and we might do this bag stuff. We see this luck, and we're like, what does that do? Double click it. Gives us luck. Alright, and we get our level up reward. Alright, level 13 reward, hero points. Alright, so we open this, and now we should start to notice, oh look, this number is going up when I get this. So we're just going to continue just like hitting this button because we don't really know what we're doing. Right? We don't know where these skills go. We're like, okay, we learned a new skill. We're going to be like new players. We're just going to do it and we're not going to know what it means. Alright, but we have this new thing, conditions. Click more info. Conditions are negative status effects that players and creatures use. They include damage conditions, bleeding, burning, confusion, poison, and torment, movement impairing conditions, cripple, chill, and immobilize, debilitation conditions, blind, weakness, vulnerability, and slow, and disabling conditions, fear, and taunt. Certain skills can remove these effects from you and your allies. Interesting. So now it's teaching us about conditions. We've encountered conditions a little bit in the open world, not often. Core isn't that condition heavy from the standpoint of player abilities, but there are a lot of NPCs that apply conditions. Immob's a big one, Chill's a big one. Lots of movement impairments to force you to engage in combat a lot of times. So they're teaching us about conditions. Honestly, the biggest recommendation I can make to anyone who's playing as a new player is to go through this leveling process and read these info things, because they're doing a lot. Daily achievements. Daily achievements are now unlocked. Complete them every day to earn bonuses and rewards. Open the hero panel and click on the achievements tab to see today's tasks. Alright, let's do this. And we're like over here, we're like, oh, what tab do we want? Achievements. Okay. Daily tab. We're like, oh, look at all these dailies. We'd be confused by this. I don't do dailies personally because I think they're boring, but yeah. So they're recommending you start to tackle dailies now that you're level 12, 13, level 13. Nice. And then laurels. Laurels are a currency earned through daily login rewards. They can be spent at laurel merchants in major cities. Okay, cool. Stuff to look forward to. Yeah, he's got some cool little swords. He's also not a necromancer, he's a mesmer, which is interesting. I was pretty sure that dialogue said necromancer. But we're a necromancer. Maybe it's that because we're a necromancer, it doesn't want to, like, muddy the waters of him not being liked, so it made him a mesmer. Who knows? Alright, so now our thing says Rage Suppression Report to Ritlock for new orders. So we're going to walk over to this green star, because we still don't know how to use this little door thing. But that's okay. Alright, at this point, we might be bold enough to press M. Alright, so we're going to press M and we're going to zoom out and we'll be like, waypoints. We heard about these right at the beginning. They pointed to this little waypoint and they're like, these are waypoints. For a small fee, you can use them to teleport. So we might zoom out and we'd be like, oh my god, look how big this world is. We barely moved at all in this whole 2 hours of gameplay. Right? But we're going to go here and we'll be like, oh, look, our little green stars right here. Let's waypoint to the green star.
The life for me.
Because new players aren't going to know that your green star actually isn't there. It's further ahead. And then we got more XP from this little thing. So we got another level. We're level 14. We're going really quick. Alright, map completion. Map completion is another way to explore Tyria. Find all waypoints, points of interest, and vistas, and complete all renowned hearts and hero challenges in a map to earn rewards. Your completion progress is on your map. Cool. So it's telling us how to engage with map completion and clearing zones. Awesome. Masterwork equipment. You can now equip Masterwork gear, so that's green gear. It's distinguished by its, yep, and it tells us it's distinguished by its green text and improved stats. Awesome. And it's going to give us some green gear. Look at that. Awesome. So we accept more stuff. And we're like, ooh, look, we found new gear. Let's put it on. Green gear. Look, it's got a little green border because we have that turned on in the settings. Ooh, we're getting stronger. We're getting stronger, guys. Let's head to our little green star. And we're already level 14. We're blazing through these levels, doing personal story. Okay, and we're just following our little green arrows to our next destination.
It's a sign of our victory. We went to war. They lost. Now they buy our stuff.
I guess you're right. We have to sell stuff to someone. Might as well be them.
Look at the Black Citadel. Look at the core. It's so powerful. Alright. Going inside. Look at us. Look how helpful these little green arrows are. Telling us to go this way. Oh. Doesn't know where it wants us to go. We're like, oh, we're supposed to go here. Is it up or down? We don't know. Oh, am I stuck back here? That'd be interesting. And so eventually we'll be like, oh, where do I go?
I saw you at dinner.
Let's try to go up.
How can you eat that?
And if you look, report to Ridlock near the top of the inverted square. So it tells you where to go, but we have to go up this little staircase. The arrows don't work when it's vertical very well. Oh, and we got another waypoint. And again, we don't see it, so we have to go up. And we're here. Yay, we did it. Oh, that's a nice splash. Nice piece of concept art of Ridlock. This is the one person we recruited. Where's the other guy? Oh, there's our other friend. And there's our original friend.
Good news, Tribune. Sour Doomsday has joined my warband.
Well done, Legionnaire. Here's your next assignment. One of Steelbane's men, Rage Steel Tongue, has become a bit of a problem. After you took over, he joined the Flame Legion. He's determined to bring you down at any cost.
Not a problem. We'll drag him back to blood by his scrawny tail.
No. There's a time for mercy, and a time for mercy killing. I'm not giving Rage the chance to betray Blood Legion twice.
We'll give him a one-way trip to the mists.
That's the plan. Meet me down by the Citadel gates when you're ready to deploy. Dismissed.
Alright, so freeing the guy was a mistake. Now we have to go kill the dude. Rendezvous at the city gates. Alright, and so at this point we're like, we kind of know how waypoints work. And we're like, what's the difference between the thing and the star? We don't really know. We've just been following the portals. So let's go to the little portal one. boss is telling us to go back to the gate. I wonder why.
I'd rather kill Flame Legion traitors than as
And here we go. Rage suppression. Oh, it's a pun. Wordplay. Because the dude's name is Rage.
At ease, Legionnaire. Ready to get started?
More than ready, Tribune Brimstone. What's our next move?
That mongrel toady, Rage Steeltongue, was spotted in this area. Start with those cattle ranchers. Find out why they're here and if they've seen anything unusual. Get moving.
Sir, yes, sir.
Let's hear it.
Watch your step around my stock. They're harmless, not housebroken. Why are the cows here? Some legionnaire came to the ranch and ordered me to herd them into the citadel. And when a legionnaire orders me to herd my cattle into the citadel, I herd my cattle into the citadel. Do you know which legionnaire gave the order? No, never seen him before, and he didn't give a name. Helped with a few packs, though. Did a passable job, but it sounded like he may have mixed some tools in with the feed. I'll need to examine some of those packs. Seems like everyone wants to poke around my cows today. Help yourself. I will. Alright, so he infiltrated the pack bulls.
Rely on strength, not false gods.
Not you. This beast's burden smells of gunpowder and oiled metal. It's also ticking. Get away. Run, bull. What's gonna happen? Oh, it was a bomb. He killed that bull. Are there more? Not you. Oh, another one. Get out of here, bull. This one gonna explode? Oh, yep.
You know, if I wasn't looking at a big pile of cow chunks, I'd be laughing.
Laugh later. Right now, I need to know where those Flame Legion imposters went.
They headed deeper into town. You'll find them if you go that way.
Lead the way, Legionnaire. Rage just got promoted from mongrel toady to serious threat.
Rage was one of us once. We should be the ones to put him down.
Yep. We're gonna put down our Legionnaire. We don't know where he went. He went somewhere. Let's follow our little trail.
Something's not right. I smell fire magic.
Uh-oh. Flame Legion.
That traitorous! I hate Rage so much now I can barely talk.
Another inspection. Like I told the last guy, the defenses still have a way to go, but we're making progress. This is no inspection. Have you seen an unfamiliar officer around? I didn't know the Legionnaire who inspected our supplies, but he knew procedure and had the right uniform, and he complimented me on my vigilance. Seemed on the level. Drop that crate and step back, soldier. Oh! Fire imp and an ember. Oh no. Enemies.
Anger rising.
Now more combat.
Fire magic on my watch. Once we shut down Rage's little sabotage operation, I'm going to cut strong magic and feed it to him. Rage must be working with the Flame Legion.
Did that hurt?
What's that? Now, and so at this point we might be like, those fire things hurt. Don't stand in red.
Anger rising.
Probably know to use this heal skill, and maybe we'd know to use our utility skills.
Rage couldn't cook up something like this on his own. You must have Flame Legion allies. We have intelligence that they were planning something. This might be a strike of opportunity. Come on, let's move.
Alright. We're just following the stars. Azil Jawbreak. This guy doesn't want to talk to us. Do you have to wait for him to move? I guess. Maybe the meat's poisoned. Oh, nope. He teleported. Now he's in spot. Maybe. Yep, here we go. Buggy.
What happened to you, soldier?
It was a Blood Legionnaire. He seemed friendly, but when he clapped me on the shoulder, all the strength just drained right out of me. He took my clothes, my boots, my entire kit.
Tell us where he went, and then get yourself to the infirmary.
He was headed for the scrapyard. Give him a good thrashing for me when you find him.
Alright, so we just keep following the stars. This guy's a piece of work. It's making everybody's day miserable. Look at all these soldiers.
More dazed soldiers staggering around in their skivvies. Either we're on the right track, or we missed the best party ever.
Creepy. Oh, there he is. Oh, a shaman.
Did you get the gear?
Got it right here. Put it on and you'll have free run of the place. They won't figure out they've been infiltrated until the damage has already been done.
It's over, Steel Tongue. I took down that coward Steelbane, and now it's your turn. Just tell me one thing. Why? Why do you betray us and join the Flame Legion? Too proud to serve your new Legionnaire?
I had it all set. That coward Steelbane was the only thing between me and taking over this warband. Then you came along and beat me to it. At the end of the day, I don't care whose banner I serve under, as long as I'm the one giving the orders. Like right now, boss, I'm ordering you to die.
Uh-oh, he doesn't like new management. Oh, look at all these flame. Look at all these Flame Legion people. And we're remote. I think we got a bunch of magic users on our side. No, we're taking damage. Let's heal.
On the men.
Flame Legion, rally to me!
Is that all you do? Cover me.
More Flame Legion.
Anger rising.
Beat him up, team. Get him.
On the men.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead, bro.
Not yet.
The Flame Legion must be getting desperate if they're resorting to cow bombs.
Desperation is a weapon, Legionnaire. If they're targeting our defenses, they're planning a major assault on the city. Tactically, a night attack makes the most sense. When it comes, I need you and your warband in the field. When the fighting starts, your orders are to maneuver behind their frontline troops and take out the rear guard. Without mages and artillery to support the main force, they'll never breach the Black Citadel's walls. It's an important job. Can you handle it?
My soldiers are ready, sir. We won't let Blood Legion down.
Good. Dismissed.
Alright, so Flame's planning to assault the Citadel. Alright, we get more items. This one's the same as what we have. This one has green, so we click it, and we're gonna take it. We're encumbered. How do we handle this? What do we do? What do we press? And at this point we might learn how to deposit materials. So we're like, well, what do we do with this? What is this thing? Tiny venom sac material. Right click, deposit materials. So we're gonna do it that way. We're gonna see these materials. We're gonna deposit some stuff. Alright, cool. And we got our thing. And now we can leave the instance. Awesome. And you can tell already we're getting to the point where if we're not engaging with the combat system, we're gonna die. Alright, another thing. And at this point we're down to use waypoints. We don't have any waypoints over there. So we just gotta walk. Gots to walk. Oh no. Well, I don't think we make that fall. This looks safe. We're cats. We'll land right. Nice. We did it. But yeah, story's really long. If you listen to all the dialogue and the cutscenes. It's a long story. Char story is actually very engaging. A lot of the early story is kind of boring, especially human. Human early story is ungodly boring. Asura's pretty interesting. Sylvari is very foreshadowy, and so it's okay. Norn's pretty boring. Norn early story is boring. It's like got cool stuff in it, but the actual story is very boring. Where are we going? Over here. So we're just kind of making our way to our green star for Operation Bulwark. Ascalonian ghosts. Beat them up.
On the mend.
Friends, look at that. And so we're probably going to be on the wrong side of the wall, approaching it from this side, so we'll see how that goes. Because we were over here before. So I'm pretty sure this goes nowhere. It's just a dead end. And so we'll eventually realize, we open our map and we're like, let's go around the other way. Yeah, this is one of the most dastardly layouts in the whole game, is because the idea is that you kind of do your early leveling in this little safe cove here, but it's also, the problem is that you just get stuck in this little cove. And a lot of people won't figure out how to like get to other places because this hole is really tiny in this wall here. Yep, so we go back here, we have to go around the little kiddie playground for the Char into the real map with all the real threats, all the ghosts in Flame Legion. And we can talk to those little scout people if we want to, but if they don't yell at us, we're not gonna mess with them. Just gonna mindlessly follow our green stars. Oh, enemy crippled us. What do we do?
Hoorah!
Run away. Fine. Look at this haze. Look at this ghostly haze. Scary. This is gonna be a spooky story step, I can already tell. Oh, that's a really pretty splash art. Wow. Look at our recruits. Look at our warband. They're so cute.
Listen up! A Flame Legion platoon is marching against the Black Citadel. Tribune Brimstone will engage the main enemy force while we take out the rear guard. Sour, you're on the mortar. Wait till we mark targets with green smoke, then light them up.
You got it, boss. Blowing stuff up at long range is my specialty.
Alexis, you're our sniper. Pick a spot where you can cover the entire battlefield. We'll call your targets, and you ventilate them.
With pleasure. And if it takes me more than one shot per kill, you can shave the word loser into my fur.
All right, we do this fast, we do this right, and everybody comes home in one piece. You get me? Now move out!
I'm in position and standing by for your signal, boss.
In position. Standing by to bring the pain.
Alright, so we have new skills, and new players will not know how to use them. So we're just gonna pretend like we don't have them. Unless they make callouts. If they call for it, we'll think about
Nobody
it.
shells my city.
Pop smoke, boss. Make it rain, Flame Legion body parts.
Alright, so they're saying to do it. So let's mark this and see what happens.
Confirm smoke. Firing for effect.
Nice. So we beat that thing up. We got a level. Do we want to handle the level now? Yeah. Let's handle the level now. I think we're safe enough. Alright, so flip this. Level up. Hero points. Utility skill 2. Nice. You've unlocked your second utility skill. Equip it by clicking the up arrow while above the 8th slot. Alright? We can't really do that yet. Also, we got some green gear. These all have power. We're like, what's the difference between these? And the difference is the sigil. So we're not sure. Do we want lightning strike? Strike from flank? Vulnerability? We like the idea of the lightning strike, so we're gonna pick that one. Like, ooh, that weapon seemed better than the weapons we have, so let's equip it. Nice. Now we have a new staff. Wow, we're doing a lot of damage. We are doing a lot of damage. We're very strong. Okay. Oh, we didn't even need the mark. Oh well.
Target neutralized. Right between the eyes.
Nice.
taking the shot.
Got him. Alright, we did it. We did it. Legion combat. This is actually a very interesting instance. Oh, look at this flashing thing. Oh, so this is our second utility. And so we open it and we're like, ooh, what are these? And we're like, oh, this is what I was spending my points on. Wow. I'm gonna go and we're gonna hover them and we're gonna be like, this one says improves power. I like more power. More power better. So we're gonna equip that one.
All clear, boss. The Flame Legion's rear guard is officially out of commission.
Outstanding. This warband is tail clear, soldiers. Fall in. We're heading back to the Citadel for a hot meal.
Best warband in the Legion. Hooah!
Damn straight. Never let anyone tell you different.
Ooh, yep. We're the best warband. Wow. Oh, Black Lion Key. Letter from Ritlock. To keep cool while things heat up is a rare quality. You're a true testament to the Blood Legion. Awesome. We're so cool. And we got shoes and money. We're encumbered again, so we have to go through, and we still don't know how that button works. We got these boots. Encumbered again, so we can go through. We're gonna deposit materials. Bags. Anything better? Can't use that. And we learned about salvage kits, but we still don't know what we're doing there. So, look, we got a mail. Smoter the Unflinching, Imperator of the Iron Legion, but on behalf of the High Legions and the entire Black Citadel, I offer heartfelt thanks and congratulations on your recent efforts in fending off the recent, so it said recent twice, Flame Legion attack. Your dedication to duty and performance, as well as the newly commissioned Legionnaire, have both been exemplary, and have been duly noted in the official record. This is a terrible letter. Smoter, get an editor. From this point forward, I shall be watching your progress with great interest and even greater expectations. Well done, soldier. Smoter the Unflinching, Imperator of the Iron Legion. Nice. Got more things here. Look, follow the explanations. We're like, oh look, we can get more signets. Sure. Signet of Undeath. We're still not gonna mess with those because we don't know what we're doing. But yeah, so that's the personal story. We finished. We're almost level 6. We're leveling very quickly. And we don't really know how to exit. So this is where we learn to use the door. Because there's no little exit star. And we try to run away. We wouldn't figure it out. So eventually we'd be like, ooh, what is this door? And then we'd hover this and it says click to leave instance, right? And so now we have learned to click the leave instance. The game has forced us, in order to progress, to learn how to do this. Nice. See guys, the game makes you learn how to do stuff. Wow. You have an item that doesn't have stats. Alright, so we equipped another stat selectable thing that we didn't actually give stats to. So we're going to hover through and we're going to be like, which one is it? And we'll eventually be this one. And we're like, we really like power. So we're going to click this one, this honed one, right? Because we don't know what's good, what's bad. So we're just going to be like, this one seems good. Let's do honed because it's got power on it. Right? And now we've got that. We're level 16 and now we don't know what to do again. We're stuck out here in the middle of this creepy fog and we're not sure what to do. Our story step's finished. We have this Black Lion Key. And we're not sure what we're supposed to do with anything. Our inventory's filling so quickly. With all these items that are worse than what we have on. But that's what we're gonna call it for this episode. So we're slowly learning. The combat is slowly ramping up and getting a little harder. If we weren't paying attention in some of these story fights, we would have died. As a new player, we would have died in these early story fights. Because we're veterans, we didn't. Because I'm a veteran and I know how to avoid AoEs, we didn't. But yeah, so the combat's starting to get a little harder. The game is starting to ask us to like figure out how to do stuff and use our map and learn how to navigate around. And so it's telling us to do hearts again in this area. And so we'll do some map exploration next time and progress and hopefully get to level 20 where we get our next personal story step. But yeah, that's it for now. That's it for this episode, and we'll continue on with this journey of traveling through the core game and seeing how hard is Guild Wars 2 for new players. Is it actually challenging? Does it actually teach you? So far, it's looking like yes, it is doing those things. If you engage with the information that's given to you, you will learn how to play the game and how to interact with systems in Guild Wars 2. But, yep, so that's it for today. Goodbye. See you next time.